can you tell me how you became homeless?
Basically, I became homeless in what many would think is unusual, but probably isn't. I was running a business that raised 300,000 euros, and I was about to have my firstborn son. The business went sour, and that affected my personal life. And before I knew it, I was homeless. I was out of my home, and I was trying to figure out what to do. So I converted probably the worst moment in my life to probably the best moment of my life, or the best project of my life, which is setting up the association called Homeless Entrepreneur.
And where did you end up, Andrew, when you were homeless?
I ended up all over the place. Basically, I went from couch to floor to home to any possible place that would let me stay. It was very uncomfortable because you didn't want to bother anyone, but even your absence bothered people. So you'd get there at midnight or later and leave at 6 in the morning, but people knew you were there, and no matter what you did, you would end up burning that opportunity, that relationship, and you went from one place to the next. And I was lucky because right before I ended up sleeping in the street because I couldn't fit in the normal social structure, my current fiance opened up the door. This was before we were dating, and she gave me a place to stay, and now it's my home.
What was the greatest challenge you faced sleeping on the streets?
The greatest challenge being homeless was probably believing in yourself when everybody else stopped believing in you and you received little to no support. And especially, I think, telling people that I would get out of my homeless situation by setting up an association to help homeless people. So technically, I was involving other people in a similar or worse situation to participate in a life project. And that seems crazy. It is to a certain extent, but I think it's crazy good.
And who did help you, Andrew?
So many people, every single person, everyone I spoke with. I basically had 35,000 contacts in my social media network. I had an entrepreneurial spirit and the desire to change my situation. So every single person that I came across helped me in one way or another, and I'd have to thank everybody that was there, even if it was 5 seconds or a year and a half, which is how long I was in that situation for.
And Andrew, how did you turn your situation around?
I basically focused on my network and added value to those around it. I shared my story, and I was coherent with what I wanted to do. It's a very long process, but if you want to change your situation, you have to be sincere and coherent and ask people for what you really need and make sure you show them you're progressing because of their support, which is the essence of what Homeless Entrepreneur is.
And what's your message to the world?
My message to the world is that everyone has the responsibility to participate in actively reducing poverty and ending homelessness. The first thing they need to do is think, because knowledge is one of the main 3 pillars. The second one is recognize how you can participate in the process. And the last one is create real change by doing something. So basically, think, learn, recognize, and participate in the change.